Welcome back. Ken Rosewall Arena looking an absolute picture as we wrap up round 6 with what arguably is the best matchup of the round. Giants netball up against West Coast Fever, just 3 in it when last they met. They'll engage the crowd. First centre pass rests in the hands of West Coast Fever. Verity Simmons gets us underway. Second phase, up they go high to Fowler.
It's a bit of a trademark pass from Verity Simmons. On the run, high release.
Absolutely, her quick link to Fowler, crucial. Her vision to Fowler early, crucial. Great touch from Frances Bayman, and Fever back in possession. Good speed down court early from Fever. Oh, out comes Tilly McDonald, and we ask the question, is she the apprentice about to be the master? Well, she's answered early. Great read. Maddie Hay.
Fantastic confidence to her team coming out so early in the game and taking that pick. That'll put the West Coast Fever attacking end on notice.
Contact call, obstruction I think it was against Sunday Aring. Dwyer offloads, Hay. Footwork call, and the Giants again denied of possession. Courtney Bruce right through Hay. Maddie Hay is seen as causing contact, steps out of play. Long ball over the top, Frances Bayman. Kosh. Alice Tigneal, been playing at wing attack. Knows her way around the circle and knows her way to Fowler.
And that's really the key to Fever attack, isn't it? That circle edge position, because when it gets there, it's just too hard to stop going into Fowler.
And last week there were opportunities, and I remember Dan Ryan saying, look to the circle early, you're making hard work of it. Well, they're looking early in this one, out by 2. Good deception, fake out, draws the defenders. And Fowler rock solid at the post. Just gives a little look to Tilly McDonald and said, well, it was Pullman last time. Are you going to give me grief? I'll have none of it, and completes the shot.
And Tilly, the innocent defender, I'm not doing anything wrong, miss.
Let me just set you straight, Caitlin Bassett. There's no such thing as an innocent defender.
Shani Layton will have something to say about that. Shani,
We'll just keep her quiet silent a bit longer. Giants through the hands of Joe Harton on the board. Long ball, and they can't keep it in the Fever. Shani Latnorda, we better introduce you into the game and having fun at your expense.
Well, there are only such things as innocent defenders, ladies. Let's be honest. Look at this amazing footwork and non-contact around the body. But what a great start to this game. It is intense. There are bodies everywhere, and you can tell how much the win means to both of these teams today.
Absolutely. Great intensity, great speed, and the crowd very much riding this from the first whistle. Harton out of the circle, playing the general. Oh, nice deception. Swing ball across to Jamie Lee Price. She's held up. Again, looking for the deception. Hayes the option. Patient approach from the Giants.
Oh, I love that dodge. She brought Arirang forward and then just created space for her on the baseline.
Puts herself on the board. Sophie Dwyer. Maddie Hay, that lovely light speed. Harton on stretch, backed up too much. A little too much out in front of the Giants captain. Hard to tell with Jo, isn't it, whether she's happy, sad, cranky. She just really has game face on, and you just can't penetrate it.
She's only ever happy after a win, I can tell you that.
Sunday Arian looking down court. They retreat, reset through the skipper. Mid-court pressure coming from the Giants. Teague Neal, nice speed from Kosh. Versatile, this forward line for the Giants.
Exactly, a little bit different from what we've seen previous weeks with Sasha Glasgow out. She's been doing an amazing job in that goal attack position, but Alice Teague Neal just as strong as well.
Ariane. Simmons checks the circle. Draws Fowler out.
Oh, you can't put that ball in the air with a palm enter.
Enter the Palmy Army. They love her here at Ken Rosewall Arena. And she's out of play, but she's in the game and in the contest. And every one of those attacks chisels away at the forwards.
Exactly. It's called penalties with a purpose.
Okay, nice drive from Price. So in 2 passes, down to the skipper, she completes. And, you know, I feel like we're up for a shoot-a-thon in this one, Caitlin, because Harton off the back of 48 from 48 last week. She shot at 99%. Fowler, 58 from 61 at 93%. They are miraculous stats. You and I know that.
That's huge. It is huge. And do you know what? Normally for the Giants, Joe and Sophie have quite an even balance, which makes it hard for a defender. But Joe really stepping up last week proved that she is capable of doing that volume of work as well.
Tilly McDonald with the throw-in. 2 passes there to the transverse line. So mid-court pressure not there from Fever. Giants with an easy run and finding the skipper too easily. Courtney Bruce won't like that delivery.
And Bruce has to be careful if she's looking at the ball too much. Joe will drop back and get space behind her for that nice little one over the top.
1 goal game. 5 minutes into the match. Parmenter showing her work in attack, deep on the line. Oh, great vision to the post. Picks up Sophie Dwyer and the finish, and we're all tied up at 5. Shani.
You said it well, then you've got to keep your eyes on your player. But how great is Tilly McDonald going at the moment? I told you, this girl has a lot of talent coming up and through. So by sitting up behind Fowler and forcing her up is then encouraging that ball, and it's much harder for those attackers to put a placement on it, and that's why it's therefore going out of court. But Ariane doing a real truckload of work out the front of Dwyer there. Great contest there as well, but they need, I call it the 3-second rule. You need to watch your player for the 2 seconds and then watch the ball on the 3rd for the intercept.
Oh, great point from Shani Norton. Thanks for that. And we talked a bit about the influence of Pullman when these two last met. She restricted Fowler to 41 shots, not just by herself. A bit of work done up the front from the Giants. But it does beg the question. We've seen growth from Tilly McDonald. What is she like when she steps up against a player the stature of Fowler at the other end? Well, talk about growing in stature. Sophie Dwyer, one of the best first 10 minutes we've seen.
I know, isn't it incredible? And for me, I think when you're looking at Matilda McDonald, look at that, the last 10 goals. Giants have definitely been piling them on in the last few minutes. When you're looking at a Tilly McDonald and you're looking at a Sophie Dwyer, these young kids, they get experience from being out there. It's a challenge playing against these international players, and they will get beaten at times, but they're learning every single time.
Oh, great ball. Brandley to Harton. And the Giants take it out to 2. Into the crowd. Oh, it's got something on it, this one, as Palmetto runs another down. Verity Simmons out of play. Palmetto takes the penalty. Price given a fair bit of freedom in this game so far. Great deception from Dwyer. Drew dropped back, cut it under the post. That was pretty to watch.
Fever defence are almost a little bit loose at the moment. They're having a look, they're looking at things that they can pick off, but I'd really like to see them tighten up in that one-on-one defence.
In chase position. So some strong running from Parmenter and Price, Brandley too, and some lovely change of angles from Harton and Dwyer. Biggest lead of the game so far. Giants take it to 10. And we're just a couple of minutes out from the Power 5. Let's see how that changes the complexion as these two have a chat with the umpire.
Yeah, we talked about that matchup in the pre-game show. We said it's going to be spicy. Both incredible, experienced competitors won't give each other an inch.
Umpires for the match, Taylor Favell and Emma Burgess. Well, Fowler ignores the drums and drops one for Fever as Dan Ryan calls in the troops. We go to an HCF tactical timeout.
Should he be concerned at this stage of the game? Early.
Well, I think he's called it at the right time. He's seen a swing in momentum. So we'll try and get down to the huddle and send Shani Norder to the other one.
We're going to lock in on own jobs first, all right? Too much switching, too much changing at the moment. You against your opponent, lock down, all right? So everyone for the next 7 minutes on your jobs, all right? Really important. Attackers, you need to be willing to do the work and chip when you got to chip, all right? Because we're too reckless, too impatient, and we're not using our backup weapon at the end of the line because you're not willing. Change direction. No long runs against Carmenta, who wants a long run every time. Change direction on her, all right? Work the extra pass, nothing from centre court, all right? Lift the entire work rate to get the ball on your hand and side out early, all right? Just tidy that up a little bit. Think of Koshi come here. Second phase connection has to be ball side, all right? We're not going to go pocket to pocket and give Tilly a chance. So if you get first phase down the line, run that same side, all right? But you're going to have to chip because their defence is good. So stop playing with their hands and make it a little better, all right? So let's tidy up and get on top of it, all right? Let's go.
Shot from Fowler. Well, Caitlin, a lot of information given in that HCF tactical timeout, and I think I've got my coaching notes for the year, but I picked up restless, impatient, running race, missing your target.
Yeah, exactly. Dan Ryan wants the Fever work rate to just go up a notch at the moment. And what we were talking about, really lock down your own player. Do your own job first.
We did identify that it had become chase and a running race. Let's get down to Shani because she was eavesdropping into the Giants huddle. That would have been good news.
It was great news at the Giants huddle. Coach Julie Fitzgerald very happy with her team. She had a little chat to Tilly McDonald. She wants her to come off the body when that ball gets a little bit closer to the circle, because if you're too tight on, you can't get up for those intercepts. Down the other end, oh, massive take there from Fowler. Down the other end, she wants Dwyer to start taking that baseline. But yeah, overall, really happy with what they've put out there so far.
And you'd expect nothing less. Thanks, Sean. Great insights from the sideline from someone who'd know all about how to play Fowler. Let's have a look at who implements the coach's wishes. That's a good ball over the top. That'll hurt. Giants out to 12. Simmons with the centre. Ariangan back play, they reset. Simmons. Nice break from Kosh. Well, this is more a patient build-up from Fever. That's what Dan Ryan asked for, and that's a good finish from Alice Teagnell, who's now taking responsibility to post. You heard the buzzer. Power 5 in action.
This is where the Giants can really do damage. They have two great super shot shooters in Joe Harden and Sophie Dwight. They can really put the foot down if they want to in this last couple of minutes.
They can, and it looks like they'll pick and choose when they'll do that. Teagnell to Kosh. Has a look. High ball. Let's check the starting position of Tilly McDonald. She was asked to be off body. In the last couple, she's been caught pretty tight. Fowler likes it. Fever in touch. Through the back door. Patient build-up from the Giants. Dwyer working far side of the court, so Hay and Dwyer sharing spacing. That's a beautiful ball. Fingertip control from the skipper. Carmenta, what a game. Oh, she's out of play. She doesn't like it. The crowd doesn't like it. I think, though, that Stacey Marankovic would like the ball get ability.
Look, she reads that play so well. It's just about coming through cleanly at the right time. Umpire read that she was a little bit too late that one time.
Rock solid at the end of the Fever line is Janelle Fowler, 10 from 10. Joe Harton, 9 from 9. As we expected, it's a shoot-a-thon. Warms my heart, Caitlin Bassett.
And as we just saw the shot chart for Fowler, shooting mainly in front of that post and a few to the left, but 100% so far. So 9 from 9 from her, 10 from 10. The reverse, we're seeing Joe Harton here, a little bit more spread. She's shot from all areas of the circle at the moment, close to the post, as the crowd screams out ball.
Yeah, they've all got their stopwatches out here at King Rosal Arena. They're all wearing orange too, let me tell you. Home alone. Lots of room, Sophie Dwyer. Round the front goes Ariana, forcing that backspace move. Oh, what a shot out of the hand. She's in good form, Sophie Dwyer. I tell you what, there's some players on court that seem to be elevated in confidence since the announcement of the squad.
And why wouldn't you be? That nod about Aussie selection really gives you confidence that what you've been doing is the right thing. And obviously the next stage to that is not just making the squad, but making the team, Annie.
Baby steps, Caitlin Bassett. It's a breaking call, possession with Giants. Again, it's a well-travelled road over the top of Harton, and that offload to Sophie Dwyer, way too easy.
It is almost too easy. They keep doing it because it keeps working for them. So Fever just need to switch things up a little bit and break the connection.
Oh, Tilly McDonald, great position, just couldn't reach the heights. But that will please Julie Fitzgerald. Good position, right up there, right around it. You won't get many. Every good goalkeeper tells you won't get many, but the ones you get, they're worth their weight. It's a 2-goal game. Two of the best in the business going head-to-head. Round 6, Suncorp Super Netball. Top of the table up for grabs. Dwyer from 2-point range. Oh, it's a beauty. Don't forget, every successful Suncorp Super Shot today, $100 to Confident Girls Foundation to help the foundation continue their work in keeping girls in the game. Oh, I thought Alice Dignell might have a crack. You wanted it to, didn't you?
I thought she was going to say, I can do this too. As we can see, the match leader so far for the net point, Verity Simon on 23, closely followed by Fowl in 22. The other 3 are Giants players, which we would expect with this scoreline.
Clock ticking down to the first break. Fever off to an early start, but they've been chase position for much of this quarter. Great. Oh, I thought you had eye line to Alice Dignell. I couldn't see the angle. And the Fever skipper not happy with herself.
She was just trying to clear that mess, wasn't she?
Well, at first I thought it was magic, except I didn't realise the line and the angle was wrong. From Sophie Dwyer. She's brought a hot hand. Round 6, and the Giants are out by 5.
So important for the Giants to have that possession during the last 5 minutes. And equally Fever, while they can be so damaging with the super shot, they need to make sure that they've got ball in hand.
Offload to Fowler. She puts up her 14th of the game. Giants with possession, need to go quick to post. It's a 2-shot. Oh no, it rings out. Irrespective, I think the Giants will go to the break pretty pleased with their first 15. They have the lead 21-17 over the competition leaders. Well, Caitlin Bassett, we talked about a must-win for the Giants this match, and they've come out of the blocks punching 21-17. They beat the competition leaders, West Coast Fever. Julie Fitzgerald with so much to be pleased about.
Yeah, so much. Look, Tilly McDonald, she has a huge job to do today on Fowler, and I think she started doing it. She came out for an intercept early on. It's been the only intercept so far of the game, but just the work and the positioning that she's doing is confusing the space and making it easier for the other defenders around her to start picking up some ball.
In contrast, Dan Ryan, not a happy man, but it's early days. Surely has confidence in this squad.
Yeah, look, when you've got your captain, Courtney Bruce, sitting at the back there, she's not going to let this game slip without a good run at it. So, you know, they've got plenty to do in this second quarter, but it's early on, and I think if they just tighten up a little bit, some more ball will fall their way.
21-17 quarter time, brought to you by Origin Energy. We've got a game in our hands, as we expected. And they should never put 2 shooters together, I think, in the commentary, because I just want to point out 10 out of 10 for Joe Harton, and I'm talking in real time, not Power 5. Janelle Fowler, 14 from 14. Sophie Dwyer, no misses. Tignell, 1 from 1. Happy days.
I thought you were going to like that stat.
I like that stat. Here we go again. Alice Tignell, little hesitation, drops it off the ring. Falls short, goes to Fowler. Good message to defenders to stay alive all the time. That little offload to Fowler right on 3. It's efficient in the Giants' forward line. Very direct. Good use of space. Dwyer pulling the back space. Julie Fitzgerald asking her early in the game to play the baseline as well, but she's really offering some good movement and changing the spaces all the time. Ariane deep down court assisting in attack. There's a quick ball, but great timing from Tilly McDonald. Out and around, she's up. There's low fives, high fives. There's a bounce in the step.
Look, I think that was the right option. It just needed touch on that pass. Taking penalties quickly can be really beneficial, but you need to make sure you're executing them as well.
Well, it goes to working out the difference between quick vision, quick delivery, and a rushed pass. And they're somewhere in between that at the moment, the Fever. Maddie Hay down in back play, a little slow to get up. Harton continues on a merry way. Oh, she's brought a hot hand to this game. Look at the speed of Kosh over the line. Back plays, looks at the drive again. Simmons doesn't give it, fakes it, swings it to the far side. Shifting the play side to side, the Fever looking for that target in the Fowler. Found by Emma Kosh. Raises the question, Caitlin, without Sasha Glasgow, who is #1 up until this round for goal assist, that shows the link to Fowler. She's also 25 super shots coming into this round. Not in the lineup today. COVID affected. Is it too big a hole to fill?
Look, you read my mind, Annie. I was thinking about the first quarter, and Giants obviously performed well, but I think Fever were just missing that luxury of having someone who has the confidence to put up the super shot. So, look, Kosh can also play goal attack. I have a feeling that Dan is not unwilling to make changes if he needs to.
Just have a look, Jamie Lee Price barely touched the hands. That was beautiful approach to the Giants circle. Do you agree, Shani Norder?
It was just beautiful. I think, you know, with me, any intercept's fantastic. But for me, Giants are just so confident at the moment. And at quarter time, Dan Ryan said to his defenders, get one-on-one now. One-on-one, to me, you should be able to touch your player at any point in time. They're still sagging off too much for my liking. So I haven't actually chatted to Dan. I don't know if he agrees or not. But they need to. And then that way, if they're one-on-one and wearing them down, because Sophie Bly's hands are hot right now. But if she's more tired from doing more work, that's when we'll start to see those misses. So that's what he was asking for them during the break.
So really put the legwork in repeated efforts.
Repeated effort, so you go for one, but don't get sucked into putting your hands over another ball or sagging onto someone else's player. You stay on your player. So Bateman has her hands over. She's now staying on Hay, and that's exactly what she should be doing.
Sean, I know you like to have the chat. Just quickly, what are your thoughts on Tilly McDonald?
I thought she's had a great start, but as we said before, it's just about putting that doubt in their mind, which she did from the first quarter. Like we know, when that ball goes in and it's got the perfect touch like Emma Kosh did before, you can't stop it, and it can be really deflating. So it's just about being like your team's hype person. You're just going to get up, go again. Look at her now, trying to keep her out of that circle. So she'll just learn and get so much confidence and experience from this.
Lots of talk in this Giants defence, and that's a beautiful ball. Simmons to Fowler. That's what the doctor ordered. And the Fever hit 22. Interesting, Verity Simmons, of course, switching into centre in the absence of Jess Anstis. I was kind of looking forward to watching Anstis and Price run shoulder to shoulder.
I do love that matchup as well. I think both of them such strong athletes. Watching them and the way they work off the ball is always exciting.
Fever possession. April Brandley out of play, so Fever have the numbers, but Fowler not at home. Wishful thinking from Verity Simmons. And that's letting the air out of balloon for the visitors. Giants looking to make them pay. Great pressure. But an obstruction call on Courtney Bruce. Exactly what was needed, but not out of play.
She's having a crack, and she needs to. There's 6 goals down at the moment, which isn't disastrous, but she's currently sitting on -6 missing net points, so she needs to get some hands to ball as Sunday Arrow just picks up that one beautifully.
Sensational. Light and fast. That's what she does so well. Off and off the radar, picks it up. What can Fever do now? Momentum with the Giants, and West Coast Fever, the visitors, need to turn it. Have to go back, and Harton is the one on the end of the outlet ball. So all that work done by Sunday Arian undone with one reset. And the Giants machinery just keeps on rolling.
As we have a look at this replay, just Harvey Norman replay, there's just no option. She's had to go all the way back to the transverse line where Joe Harton is waiting.
Danger signs for the visitors. Teague Neal. Reset from Verity Simmons. You're looking for the quick ball. This time Fowler home, but not a balanced take. Settles. And they chisel away. Bring it to 23. Substitutions for West Coast Fever.
Yeah, it's great to see Zoe Kransberg come onto the court.
Also Chelsea Pittman on the bike in the background, so that's another mid-court, historically a goal attack. Up down Ryan's sleeve. Oh, that's a little too showmanship for me. Salt in the wound if that had gone through.
Alice Teague Neal only has eyes for Fowler. She had Zoe Kransberg with no one on her in front of her, but she wanted to get that ball into the circle.
And hesitant to go to post.
Yes.
Well, what are the options for Dan Ryan? It is to switch Emma Kosh into goal attack. She's looking for the high ball. Well positioned. 8-foot Branley. She's good on the ground. Former Diamond. So experienced. Oh, good positioning from Jamie Lee Price. Blocks the pathway for the ball. Rock solid is the Giants centre in this match. Maddie Hay. Cross court they go, looking to swing the angles. Bruce working hard on the body of Harton. Draws another penalty. Footwork in and around the body. Shani.
We've got Dan Ryan in the box here. He's yelling out at his team that they need to put pressure on the scoreboard, but they just look energetically really flat. I'm unsure. Oh, everyone's flat, but not Sunday Ariang. That was another great intercept from her, but they really do need to capitalise on this. But what a great opportunity here for Kransberg. The Victorians come over to WA and to get on the court today. A huge move from Dan Ryan to put his trust in a youngster, but always good to sometimes for Charles to come off the court, have a look and see what's going on, to be able to come back on and have an impact later on.
Our Harvey Norman replay shows that incredible intercept. Ball up nice and high, which gave Ariang time to get underneath it and pick up a well-timed intercept for her team.
Okay, we'll take a break. It's an HCF tactical timeout.
Need to tease a little bit. If it's flying down, then you probably need a bit of a tease, all right? But remember to never be still. Never be still, all right? Now just settle down a little bit. You're doing really well. We're still winning this quarter. We just need to have a little breath, but we really want to finish off now to win this lead, all right? If for any reason you're out, you belt back in there and you do have a look to see if you can go like that, all right?
We're going to have someone going forward on that last one. I reckon for sure, you haven't got to get too much depth. Just prop on her and give a high one, then we'll play through the middle a little bit.
Let's not get fancy down. If we get the ball in the line, we can shoot.
Sorry. All right, here we go.
Guys, this is an opportunity to build. Winning this quarter, we need to come on it.
Okay, we've got to be wary now. Let's cut that ball and get it all the way through to goal. Let's take responsibility. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, Giants!
That is one happy huddle. The Giants are on a roll. Julie Fitzgerald asking for intensity, but also asking them to moderate control. We get underway. West Coast Fever with the centre. Zoe Kransberg on now at centre. Shani said the Victorian making the move across and getting her moment on court. Shani, thoughts from the side?
So they divided and conquered in that huddle. There was attackers split with the defenders, and from the attacking point of view, he wants them offset, so not running at the same time or on the same line, because it's harder or it's easier to defend. So he wants them running different leads at different times. But I just want to take this moment to say, it is going to be a really tough week for those netballers that weren't selected in the Australian squad that were hoping to, and these girls aren't robots. So, you know, you can't blame Charles for being a little bit off her game for, you know, she's had a tough week not getting selected after maybe hoping so, and that might not even be the case, but I just like to remind people that these are players, not robots.
No, that's a fair point, and I think for the context of West Coast Fever, like everybody else, they're off the back of a condensed round. It's their 4th trip away in 6 weeks. They've been hit by COVID. A lot of factors at play, and also probably the management of Ruth Arian in their broader squad. So that, you know, and the case is that was the Giants a few weeks ago. So these players, athletes, coaches, management dealing with an awful lot at this COVID time, but it's only a 5-goal game. So let's keep our heads on, keep composure, and see who's got the legs to run it out. Courtney Bruce trying a few things. It's been hit and miss, but the trying is a good thing, Caitlin.
Agree, and you know what? She nearly did scoop up a great intercept just before. I feel like she's building to a screamer.
Well, she just needs one spectacular take, and that will lift the Green Army as Jo Harton takes her team to 33, out by 6. That is the power 5. Who's got the hot hand for the super shot? Emma Koch winds it up. Teague Neal lines up the post. Thinks about it. This for 1. Chipping away are the West Coast Fever, but they have so much talent in this line. Back end of the game, they could well run it in. Not done yet. Good ball. Dwyer to Price.
I think it's great that Fever are getting a challenge in the season at this stage. You wouldn't want to get to a grand final and just be exploring your bench for the first time.
Rare miss from Jo Harton. Great response from Sophie Dwyer, showing her hand in defence, a bit a la Kira Alston.
We love it when a shooter picks up an intercept. It's great points on the Nissan net points.
Don't know much about it myself. Don't think I have many in my treasure chest. Fowler. Oh, another 4-goal game. Just feel like we're not done yet, and you can be brave to take a wager on this one. Emma Koch. Zoe Kranzberg goes to the target. Oh, she's going for the 2 points. Drops it short. Aware they need to make up ground. Giants in possession. Palmetta, she's been good. Brandley takes Koch on a drive. Price. They reset. Patience in the Giants forward line. Into the pocket to Hay. Left hand of Sophie Dwyer. Radar out.
Harton not happy with that one. She thought that was their ball to throw in, which she's now going to try her hardest to try and peg back. The danger of Fowler shooting a super shot is that West Coast Fever then don't have a strong rebounder underneath the post.
Held up by the Giants' defence. Good pressure across the transverse line. Again, floating with 3 seconds, and they come up with the goods. And the crowd loves it here at Ken Rosewall Arena. The Giants. Good, strong work across the transverse line. And the patience and control to reset, swing it side to side. Up the middle goes Harton. Courtney Bruce again, so close to disrupting the Giants' attack. Feel like she's on the edge of a big, big intercept. This time, the left hand works for Dwyer. Hey, she's been quick off the line. Again, just outside the reach of Courtney Bruce. For 1 goes Harton. 2 left-handed shooters, and they're hot-handed shooters. Out to 6. Fever need to dig in. They don't want to relax and let this open in the last 2 minutes, because 2 minutes is a lot of scoring if you've got a heart for it. Up to Fowler, good take.
Wow, and that's the luxury of a Fever. Even with 2 defenders on her, if they place the ball right, Fowler will get it every day of the week.
Talked about the mid-court combination of Parmenter and Price, and it's worked overtime, almost flawlessly in transition down court, able to control the reset when they need it, direct when they need it, direct to Hart, and she rewards the team.
Gosh, you never see that, do you? No one defending that shot because two defenders were sitting on Alice Teagnell to make sure she didn't get an opportunity for a two-point goal.
Makes sense. All on body. Frances Bayman. Oh, it's a hot hand from Charlton. Oh, it's sold into the roof from the Giants. The skipper takes the Giants out by 7. Fever with time enough. Will they go for the 2? Another $100 in the bank for Confident Girls Foundation. Come on, who wants it? Parmenter, she's everywhere.
And I think she was unlucky not to get that one. She had 2 hands on it. She just ran out of court space.
Oh, good touch from Tilly McDonald. Just couldn't get the feet around with it. Teague Neal going for the super shot. Oh, it's a beauty. That will put salve on the injury. So we go to the break. Giants 38 leading West Coast for 33. It's been an exhausting first half. You wonder how much they have in the tank to ride this out, because I know Caitlin Bassett, it's not done yet.
It certainly isn't. Look, there's 7 goals in it. I feel like Fever just haven't hit that gear yet. They've been doing some fantastic things, but I think we can see some more from them in the second half.
Welcome back. We're wrapping up round 6 of Suncorp Super Netball with a giant game and a giant performance. Home side, Giants Netball leading West Coast Fever 38-33. And wow, the Orange Army have been treated to a brilliant first half. I just feel Caitlin Bassett, though, the Fever have enough weaponry in their arsenal to make the second half interesting.
I agree. I've been a bit surprised at the intensity that the Giants have come out with. I think their defensive end have been on point and their attacking end have been beautiful too. So no really weak points at the moment. But first quarter, 21-17. So Giants really took command of that one. Second quarter, only a goal in it. So Fever have definitely come up to match them. And I'm looking forward to see what this third quarter now brings.
Yeah, well, we know they've got some, not holes in the line, but they've done some reshuffle because of COVID. And that perhaps has made the start uncomfortable. And that is a danger sign for the Giants. Just the one difference in that second quarter. So it's ahead of the Fever. Also the threat, Courtney Bruce has been around the intercept but not claiming them. Hands on ball can electrify a team and push it down court. A little more ball to Fowler and they're back in business. Just look at that huddle. It's very closed. It's very intense. It's a threatening sign if you're a Giants fan. Chelsea Pittman takes the court, so that's one change. She's on at wing attack, very experienced international. Knows the way around the court and how to supply ball to the shooters. Well, let's get down to the boss, to Fever coach Dan Ryan. And Jan, we've got to put it on the table straight up. And I know you'll say it's part of the business of coaching, but a condensed round, an away game, COVID culture. Having fun this week, are you?
Oh, loving life. It doesn't get much better, but no, obviously well accustomed to it. You've got to make the adjustments, be adaptable, and, you know, a great challenge for the group today without a couple of our key starters. So, you know, we'll see how we go in the second half.
Well, it's actually tested out the versatility for you across that mid-court to goal attack. You happy with how that's shaping?
Yeah, look, we're going okay. We're certainly not at the quality which we know we can be or want to be today, and Giants are punishing us in a number of areas of the court just like that. But we know we've got what we need to certainly trim the margin and get back into the contest. So we'll see how we go in the second half.
And you've got Chelsea Pittman out there in the wing attack position. What do you need from her?
Well, just that, citing Jay earlier, more than anything, she is there and available. Use the height mismatch more than anything. But, you know, we probably need just a bit of poise and steadiness in that front line. It's been a bit chaotic in that first 30 minutes.
Dan, really appreciate your time. We know your thoughts are elsewhere, not with us. So best of luck for the second half.
Thanks, guys.
Well, what a wonderful picture of exactly what he wants from Chelsea Pittman. That turn, sight, deliver.
Yeah, it's definitely her strength. looking into that tall shooter and releasing that ball. She has a beautiful feed on her, and Fever have just picked up the first couple of goals through that beautiful feed and a quick turnover. So they've definitely started this third quarter with a bang.
The drive from the back of the centre. Oh, read well by Parmenter, just couldn't get there. Okay, here come the Fever, winding up the arm. They've started this third quarter with a rush, a 3-1 start of the quarter. Danger signs for Giants. Two-on-one, easily played through front position through the skipper. That's a settler. Look at the rush, the speed with which Fever are now taking the centre. There's a new adrenaline in the camp. That one, though, forced, and the challenge awkward. Oh, super glue on the hands of Danielle Fowler. You know what? You can feel the intensity. Bruce's up high barking orders. Fowler's pulling them in. Shani in order. How's it feel from the side?
A much better start here from Fever. And as you said, you just cannot buy the experience that Chelsea Pittman has. She just adds a really calm composure to this Fever side. And what I'm loving most about them is they're getting that ball on circle edge, which doesn't allow those Giants defenders to come out for those intercepts. So a super start from them, but let's see if they can turn some ball over to try and catch the scoreline up.
Thanks, Shani. A few concerns for Jamie Lee Price, who fell awkwardly and heavily, but hard to keep her down. She's one tough cookie. Parton. Great poise to post. How important, Caitlin, is it that Teague Neal goes to post on occasion?
Look, it just gives the Giants defenders something different to think about. They have to come off the double on Fowler and put their hands over that shot. And we know that she does have a great hand once she gets her eye in. So I think she can just be such a weapon in that circle for Fever.
Comes down to confidence. Sophie Dwyer working off the line at the centre. Good pressure from Pittman, put out of play, but the pressure is good. Timing, good vision from Parmenter. Easy as you please, Price sights it, and the finish comes from the captain. Better momentum from Fever, start of this third quarter. Step in from Fowler, so she's hungry.
That direct play is beautiful, isn't it? Especially when Fowler has that front position. It's just so hard to stop.
And an indication that Fever are running hot start of this third. Julie Fitzgerald has called a Giants timeout, so we'll go to an HCF tactical timeout while Giants regroup.
And you know that one with Chelsea, though? You know the one here?
She's such a grab.
Yeah, you went back on the wall, right? So you've got to go straight up in the air because you went back on the space.
This one?
Right there. The one on here, all right? So nice and calm in there, all right?
Just use it as fuel.
And the most important thing is that we have arms over that feet, right? Because that feet is going to go every
I
time.
think just getting our shoulders in front of them when we're contesting, so it looks like we're in front, not coming from behind. Yeah, okay. That one where you come in was hectic, like coming in. I just got to free our hands. Yeah.
And you know now where it's going to come. As soon as Chelsea get the hill, it's going to come in high, right? So we're ready for that. You all right?
Yeah.
You're not hard at all, are you? All right, good girls.
Really good. Really good.
Okay, now we're going to have to be intelligent for this last part now. We've called the time out early. Keep thinking out there, all right? Keep communicating with each other.
We've got to be tough here. Yeah, in defence, we're going up. That's real close. Yeah, keep contesting. In attack, we're wanting the ball. We're delivering that ball in the first second. We're being free for each other. Okay, use our brains, use our smarts for the rest of this quarter. 11 minutes to go. Let's go. Here we go. Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3. Giants. Let's go.
Giants coach Julie Fitzgerald admitting it's taking a risk to call the timeout early, but Caitlin Bassett, it goes to the intensity they felt from Fever. She needed to disrupt that flow.
That's right, and Chelsea Pittman has made an immediate impact. Sorry, that was just an incredible intercept that ended up getting slammed into someone's face and going out of court. Unfortunate for Bruce and Ourang there, who are doing the hard work. Back to it. We talked about the multiple positions, and look at Chelsea Pittman. She's completely different to what Emma Koch was playing out there in the attack previously. So now Amy Parmenter has to change up her game to deal with something different.
Well, Shani Nora, I'm going to get down to you because Caitlin Bassett's busy gasping at intercept attempts and not talking to me. So what have you got on the side?
Well, a great problem for Dan. So he was able to actually talk about ball placement and where he wanted them to put the ball rather than talking about driving lines and where he needed them to run. And it felt like he was trying to fix a million things in that first half, whereas now he's really happy with how it's going. He knows that Chelsea Pittman, what a great turnover again from Ariane, who's getting a lot of turnover ball today, and just making the most of that composure to go back and really utilise their turnovers.
Yeah, poorly placed ball goes down as an Ariane intercept. And the completion from the Fever, and all of a sudden we're back to 2 as we look at that ball. Just too far behind Dwyer. Exactly where Ariane was chasing. Great turnover, good reply from the Giants. This is game on. Dwyer, hey, just a little late to offer. Now hits the pocket. A steady approach. Giants, ball control, composed. Back to 3. Centre to follow. A little bit of breathing space.
Ran out of time, Jamie Lee Price. Got called for the stepping when she was forcing that ball. We also saw her knee has been taped. She had a little bit of blood there from where she had her fall on court earlier, so have to keep an eye on that. But Fever really stepping up their defensive pressure in this quarter, creating fair few turnovers for them.
Tilly McDonald needs to keep the feet moving, caught high on Fowler, and the space behind Fowler is where Fever want to go. Pittman, what a difference she's made. Again, the quick release, and just so strong on the line she takes. 1-goal game. Dan Ryan is on his feet. Why wouldn't you be? Fever are back in business. All of a sudden, it's very quiet here at Ken Rosewell Arena. There's the drive. No, she doesn't really take it, Sophie Dwyer. Looking for her to take that all the way round. Shifted away from Harden, but the skipper comes through with it. Good drive from Teague Neal. Little corridor taken by Pittman. It opens up the space behind.
Well, her radar is certainly on, isn't it? I think Dan Ryan would have been telling them that. Keep looking long, have a check in the circle first, because it creates such an easy goal option for them.
Janelle Fowler, 39 from 39. Drops out. Harden comes down with it, so strong on that inside rebounding position. And, of course, the left-handed shot keeps her free from defence because it's off the baseline. Goal for goal they go, trading blows. West Coast Fever and Giants netball. Well, we talked up this match, but it's exceeded expectations. Lovely little drop out of the hands of Fowler.
And that's the danger, isn't it? I think it's a win when Fowler has to come out of the circle. It gives Tilly McDonald a chance to have a crack at the ball. So can she keep doing that?
Little hesitation now in the Giants' feed. Temperature's been turned up. Sophie Dwyer gives a little bit of breathing space. Well, Chelsea Pittman actually dictating terms. They overloaded one side of the court. She wanted the ball swung to the other. Look at the work being done on the first move by Teague Neal. New intensity from Fever. Simmons too, the cut and drive. Fowler, well, nothing changes. Just going about her business, and she's good at her business. Dwyer can't go forward, the Giants. New intensity from the Fever defence, working as a unit. Opens up, swing ball, cross court, Brandley. Good vision to the skipper.
So we're seeing a change. Amy Parmenter going to the sideline with Lauren Moore coming into that wing defence position.
It's an eerie silence in this stadium as the Giants work it around, holding their breath for a goal. There it is. And Joe Harton takes the Giants to 48. Shani, it's just a 2-goal game.
This is why I love netball so much. It's literally a game of 2 halves every time. I don't know what happens in that half-time break, but you can tell now Giants are starting to look a little frustrated. Their heads are down. Matty Hayes just having a little chat to Dwyer here, trying to bring him together. You can see they're setting up a set play. But you just never know what's going to happen. And I guess this is why Fever are so powerful. Like, they're definitely not playing their best netball, yet they're only down by 1 goal. So, you know, I want to see Giants here really step up, have that confidence. But this is what they call scoreboard pressure. When people come chasing, you need to be able to hold your head high.
Shani, I just want to ask you something before we let you relax and enjoy this match for another minute. Amy Parmenter at the bench and Lauren Moron, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's really interesting. I think they're obviously looking to change something up, and that's what I mean. Amy Parmenter had such a strong first half, but Chelsea Pittman is just so strong with her body, and she's so clever. She can use her body to draw those contacts, whereas Amy's that really great first ball player. So it'd be interesting to see what Lozzie Moore can bring on. I think she adds a little bit of extra height and maybe some good hands over to interrupt that ball into the goal circle.
Thanks, Sean. That isn't a salute to your comments. That is the Power 5 starting 3rd quarter. Giants are just playing it safe with the 1-pointer or attempting to. In the background, we see Fever coaching staff talking to Rudy Ellis, so we may be seeing a change there, but a timeout has been called. HCF tactical timeout because we're all involved in a 2-point game. Well aware this one is not done yet.
So you two guys, out the front, we're big, all right? So arms over as much as we can, give Ruth as much protection, all right? So we're just going to try and win some ball here in the last couple, all right? Remember, we're sitting high in that 2-point range, all right? But let's look for opportunities to win some ball, be an absolute best out there, all right, on that wing defense role, all right? You four in the front, brilliant scoreboard pressure, really, really good, and great first phase, second phase connection, confidence to turn and give, right, really important. So again, just keep the 1-point mentality ticking over. If you get an opportunity and you feel it, back yourself in, all right? But just again, we don't need to win the game now, just keep ourselves right in touch, stalking and lurking, all right? Good job.
Hey, you've got to keep holding that goal, all right?
Great angles, mate, really good, really, really good.
Great boys from the back up.
All right, everybody screaming at us.
Okay, yeah.
All right, 5 minutes of ferocious Fever defence, all right? We're going to do everything we can to try and win some balls. So 7 hands on deck, scoreboard, pressure and attack. We're not about winning the game right now. We're about lurking and stalking and seeing what we can shift. Right, let's go, come on.
Okay, 60 seconds, precious there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, Fever! Let's go!
Ferocious Fever defence. That's what you can expect for the rest of this match. In no rush to win it. Let's play it out, said Dan Ryan, and why not? Fever have a new intensity and a new energy. Fair to say, brought on by Chelsea Pittman. She's changed the game and changes the back end as Fowler adds another to the total. Rudy Ellis now on at goalkeeper. Courtney Bruce has moved forward to goal defence, and Fever are up and jumping.
Lurking and stalking, Annie. What do you think that means?
Shani, I don't know whether you said squawking or talking, but both of them relate.
Indeed. I'll tell you what, I think Joe Harton must have been listening to you because she got the whole team together and she said the only thing that's beating us right now, girls, is their attitude. So we need to fight, we need to be aggressive, and she asked her team to lift it up a notch with the Joe Harton passion we know and love.
Alice Teague-Neal drops for her 2-point range. That's what we know and love. And we're all locked up 51 apiece, and it's taken us until the end of the 3rd quarter, but it sets up a final 15 that you do not want to miss. And talk about take the air out of this stadium. Dwyer for 2. Oh, don't forget every successful Suncorp super shot today. Suncorp will donate $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation to help the foundation continue their work in keeping girls in the game. What a wonderful initiative. For more information, visit cgf.raisley.com. Let's get greedy. Alice Teague-Neal, give us another 100.
Yeah, crowd not happy with that one. Alice Teague-Neal driving into circle, collided with April Brandley and was awarded the penalty.
Oh, pressure everywhere. Courtney Bruce has had impact since coming forward to goal defence. Turnover. Lauren Moore just earned her wing defence bid. Harton now out and driving. Wants to get in and amongst the action. Elbows galore. Out of play, Maddie Hay. Good contest from Sunday Ariang, who started the game at goal defence, now at wing defence. There's a new spring in the step of this defensive end. Pittman. Simmons. Oh, good work from Chelsea Pittman. Settles it by driving up the middle, opens the space. Fowler, business as usual.
And she steps in and takes that nice, easy one-goal shot. They're not risking it for the Suncorp super shots at this stage. As Dan Ryan said to them, you don't need to win the game now. You just need to peg it back and be in it.
Absolutely. Fever sent a pass. Now, they led very briefly the first couple of minutes of the game, but haven't seen the lead since. This would be for the lead. Fever looking to take it to 54. And the Jamaican superstar does just that. The visitors have hit the front. Minute 30 out from three-quarter time. Little pat on the back apology from Courtney Bruce. Now she's told move further out of place. Dwyer swings it fast side to the pocket, opens up the space. Strong hold from Harton and lets it drop. 2-point shot. That's why she gave it to the apprentice in Sophie Dwyer. Beautiful shot. And this lead is swinging second to second. Pittman, circle edge.
That was a lucky drop. She got a hand to the ball, but the post just assisted in helping stay in court.
Well, I think Pittman could see what Fowler couldn't, to be honest. There's the space I can place it. Harton, again, out of the circle, trying to organise the forward line. Through the hands of Dwyer. Brings a scowl to the face of the skipper. 40 seconds on the clock till the break. Rudy Ellis has had impact. Verity Simmons has grown into this game, and it's all about the structure of player around you. Crowd thinks it's a 3-second call, denied by the umpires. Teague-Neal, double on Fowler, plays it to Teague-Neal. Oh, they go for the one. Fever hit the front. Centre to follow. What can they do? 12 seconds on the clock. Teague-Neal. 2-point range. Has she got the courage? Has she got the heart? Oh, she's got the shot. Alice Teague-Neal. Magnificent. Suncorp super shot. Takes West Coast Fever to a 3-goal lead as we go to three-quarter time. We have got a match on our hands. Energy quarter time score. Giants 55-12, West Coast Fever 58. What a difference a quarter makes. Dan Ryan pulling some reins, players responding, and now we see a shift. For the first part of the game, it was Fever who had to retain composure in chase position, and now we hear Julie Fitzgerald asking her team to get ball, but keep your heads on your shoulders.
Yeah, a huge third quarter from the West Coast Fever. It took them until that third quarter to gain the lead for the first time. So not what we're used to seeing from them, but it sets us up perfectly for a cracking last quarter here.
Shani Nordy, you've got a bird's eye view of the sideline.
This is honestly the best seat in the house, as is behind the bench listening to Dan Ryan, who said in that third quarter, this is what we are about. They piled on 25 goals in one quarter. Now, I don't know about you, but even as a shooter, that's pretty damn impressive. So he just wants them to keep doing that, to keep fighting for the ball, locking down from goal shooter the whole way down to Rudy and goalkeeper, so they can get more and more intercept opportunities.
They're pretty tiring as a shooter, I'll give you that, Shani. 25 a quarter. The Giants, to be fair, posted 21 in the first quarter and 25 a big blowout for West Coast Fever. Just what the doctor ordered. How will the Giants respond? They've been in box position for much of the match. Now they need cool heads, hot hands, and ball get, according to Julie Fitzgerald. Good deception. Eyes to Simmons, but the offload to Fowler. She has retained absolute composure.
Shooting at 100% there, Annie, which makes us shooters proud.
Hard to do. Got to tell you, hard to do.
What, make us proud or
No,
shoot
no.
at 100%?
The first. Sophie Dwyer, good composure from her. And of course, this is an amazing chance, not just for these two coaches to view their teams, but for Stacey Marankovic to view which players under pressure and under change tactics and coaching direction rise in the pressure of a game. Oh, miss from Fowler, uncharacteristic. Of course, rebound comes down in Jamaican's hands. Fever by 3. Good contest from Courtney Bruce.
A bit of a change-up defensively for the Fever. We're seeing Courtney Bruce and Sunday Arang, who were in goalkeeper and goal defence to start off the game. They've now shifted both out, so wing defence and goal defence, bringing Rudy Ellis into goalkeeper, which I think has worked really nicely for them so far.
Yeah, paid dividends when they made that change during the third quarter. And it gives Sophie Dwyer, who's been a shared role in shooting, something else to think about, and quite a physical presence. Ariang is a light defensive player off the body. Courtney Bruce will ride shoulder to shoulder. Verity Simmons from the air drops that one to Fowler. Replay is the call. And don't the crowd here in Penn Rosewell Arena agree and applaud it? They wanted ball back for Giants. What can they do with it?
Yeah, looking at the Harvey Norman replay, Julie Fitzgerald did implore her players, we need ball. She didn't specify how to get it, and they just picked up some.
I don't think she gave the memo to Fowler. A little late, the ball to Harton. Good enough, though, and the finish is there. We're back to a one-goal game. Giants centre. Good depth from Maddie Hayes. She's taking a position well back from the line, using her speed. Again, front hold from Harton. Starting to menace Rudy Ellis. I was going to say a worried face on Julie Fitzgerald, but she always looks like that. Happy, sad, or indifferent. She'd have to be pleased for the most part. So close to creating a win, though. Fever with the line that believe they can bring this one home. They've come a long way as we look, Caitlin, at the Nissan net points.
No surprises. Fowler leading with 94. She's shooting with just one miss. Alice Teague-Neal. Oh. Chelsea Pittman and Amy Parmenter are really going at it in that mid-court.
Of course, Parmenter was taken from the court, replaced by Lauren Moore. Given time to breathe and have a look, she's re-entered the game, and it is game on. Let's keep an eye on that matchup within a matchup. Shani, what's your read? Parmenter back in the game.
She's been playing really well, but I don't know. I kind of like Lottie more on Chelsea Pittman at the same time. So what I really want to see from this Giants defence, and they need to mix it up. Fever now know what they're doing. They've got their eye on the prize with Janelle Fowler in the circle there. I'd love to see them coming off the body, shaking it up for a centre pass or two. But just check out this argy-bargy. There is so much knock. You can tell it's the last quarter, and both teams want this so bad.
Look at the defensive pressure from both over that shot, really pressuring the release. Caitlin, I'm going to throw it to you. Is it now time to sit Sophie Dwyer back and Harton play a front position on a positional switch to offset the spaces they're working in?
Potentially. I think, look at the experience that Jo Harton has, and she's coming up against Rudy Ellis as they get another amazing turnover. This is exactly what their team needs at the moment. But have a look at the mismatch of experience. I think Jo Harton starting to use her head and coming outside the circle is a very smart move for that attacking end, and allows...
Oh, Rudy Ellis! Unlucky! a beautiful read from Ruby Ellis. Knocked up by the Giants. And I feel a little like I've got to do sign language in commentary because the noise in this arena is phenomenal. Light work there from Rudy Ellis. Just couldn't keep it in play. And the Giants now with another. It's a skinny lead. It's 2, but they'll be thankful to have it. What a moment to assess players that can keep cool heads and strategy. Oh, another deception from Chelsea Pittman. Eyes to the pocket, ball to Fowler. She's one who'll know how to ride out a game like this. Commonwealth Games gold medalist. I've got to say that sticks in my throat a little to say that, but anyway, it's the truth. Harton looking for some movement, very stagnant in the Giants' forward line. Of course, that's like fuel to the fire for Fever defenders. They love it to be so boxed. Okay, well, it looks like a tactical timeout, an HCF timeout has been called. High fives all round for both teams. Boy, the pressure is on. We'll take a break.
Go back to the hustlers, back into keeper, back into goal defence for you. Right, so we make that switch again, guys. Really understanding, coming nice and close, guys, nice and close. All right, every single pass on this court is contested from us, all right? And once they catch the ball, every single pass is over big 3 feet marks, all right? So nothing is easy. Locate your own, locate your own, locate your own, locate your own. Everyone's doing their own jobs. If there's an opportunity to have a go at the ball, trust your instincts and go hard at it, all right? So we know the contacts are going to come from them. We weather the storm, scoreboard pressure, all right? We're in the fight and the grind, and we're absolutely okay with that, all right? The moment will come for us. All right, let's go, guys, come on.
Sunday, Courtney, get right around front and force the ball in the air. Give yourself a chance. Remember how we spoke about pre-game? Emotions is one of their weaknesses, and they're getting emotional out there. So we step it up, we take it to another level, and we can scoreboard pressure over the game. Here we go. Viva on 3, 1, 2, 3! Viva! Come on,
Interesting comment throw away by Courtney Bruce right at the end of that. We know emotions is one of their weaknesses. Is that a direct reference to Joe Harton?
Look, I think it can be a few players out there in court. We know Tilly McDonald does ride the emotion of a game. You don't often see it on Jamie Lee Price's face, but she can get caught up in that emotion too. So definitely it's something that the team is mindful about, which is interesting.
Okay, I'm going to get down to you, Shani, because Dan Ryan has pulled a defensive switch. Courtney Bruce going back to keeper. Ariane going to goal defence. And the messaging was one-on-one, big arms over, push that ball high. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's the best thing that they can do right now is to put that pressure on. The Giants still want to do the same thing in attack. Maybe not push the shooters in the back, I'm unsure, but you don't know what you do when you get a little bit nervous there in the circle. But defensively, they just, same thing, it's very defensive focused. They want McDonald and Brantley to keep their feet moving so that they can't see exactly where to put that ball. But to be able to counteract what Dan Ryan is saying, they need to make multiple leads, which is hard at this time of the game when those legs are getting heavy and tired.
Just see the shifting defence of Fever then. Simmons and Francis Bayman out the front. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Great vision into Dwyer. Pittman, Jewel International. Ariane down on the line, assisting in attack. It's a bit stagnant. It's crowded for the Fever, but there's always a valve, and the valve is Fowler. But Tilly McDonald doing her best up, not clean, says the umpire. And she respectfully stands out. Fowler makes a pay by conversion. Back to 1. Who's got the heart? Who's got the head? Oh, beautiful ball. Jamie Lee Price, ball of the game, straight up the middle, saw it early, gave it early. That was magic from the Giants centre.
And that's a beautiful pass at a crucial time for them, just letting that ball go, getting a nice easy one underneath the post. That'll give that connection confidence.
Fowler with the reply. Somebody needs to tell them, or not tell them, this isn't the final. This is round 6, Suncorp Super Netball. We are treated to games like this week in, week out. Absolutely phenomenal standard of netball. And the pressure, well, it's almost tangible here at Ken Rosewell Arena.
maybe they're channeling that final from last year where the Giants knocked out the West Coast Fever.
Well, same storyline. Giants quick out of the blocks, commanded, and the Fever ran them down, just couldn't quite get there. Lost the match by 3. Through the back door, Francis Bayman. Teague Neal, Pip, a quick release. Fowler in that inner third of the circle, business as usual. Oh, Matty Hayes done a cross-country run before crossing the line with the speed. Into the pocket. Oh, Courtney Bruce, I was about to say Jamie Lee's angle, if that ball was to come to open it, was right in the gift range for Courtney Bruce. And she let them think it was on. Smart work by the Fever keeper. Slow progress for the Giants. Fever have lifted defensively. Giants take it to 69. And that is the power of 5. Won't face Fowler. She takes Fever to 68. 1-goal game. Will it be decided by super shots, Caitlin Bassett?
Oh, look, it's hard not to think that it will, as Fever win that ball. Incredible. This is where Giants shine, so Fever need to make sure they keep possession during these last 5 minutes.
And that could be a moment for the Fever. They've clawed their way back into this game. Pittman has made a difference since coming on. They've made some positional switches in defence. They've held their heads. They've found Fowler. And we're all sewn up at 69 apiece, just over 4 minutes remaining. Pittman. Enter the crowd. Can they get the Giants over the line? Fowler, arm extended, shows them where she wants it. McDonald out of play. Goes a long shot, too much. But that's the benefit, the beauty, as you said, Caitlin. Fowler under the post, on rebound. Fever have the lead. Carton drawn out, eager to get ball. Don't they love it, the Sydney crowd, every time Courtney Bruce is put out of play. Penalties fairly even. Dwyer, sweet shot. What a game. If you know someone not watching Fox Netball, ring them now. This is a game, 3 minutes that will be absolutely absorbing, absolutely season-defining. Fever want to stay top of the table. Giants need to stay in touch. Fowler gets the bump, and they all fall down.
Players are throwing everything at these last 3 minutes.
And I think players are hurt. Just wondering whether the Suncorp super shot will come into play. There are tired bodies out there. Brandley, who remember was coming back from injury round 1. She felt it. Fowler a little slow to her feet. Teague Neal bounces back at them. And yes, they all fall down. This is a penalty with Tina McDonald out of play. All sewn up. And in the box is Tegan O'Shannessy, so we expect to see a change in defence. Oh, sorry, Lauren Moore. Expect to see a change in defence for the Giants. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Lauren Moore is on at goal defence, replacing April Brandley. Heavy fall for her. Skipper makes no mistake. Been in wonderful form in the shooting department, 94% from Joe Hart. Urgency from both, but who's got composure? There's the turnover. And the crowd knows just how important that was. Won the difference. Giants back in possession. Parmenter up the middle goes Harden. Lauren Moore in back play. Push-ups being done by Parmenter. Back of play. Starting to freeze the ball, taking a leaf out of the playbook of the Swifts. And it's funny, the crowd hates it when it's the opposition, loves it when it's their own, so they'll tolerate the freezing of the ball by the Giants. They'll be in no hurry. Out comes the mop as we take a breath. Harden, quick word in the ear of Sophie Dwyer. Hey, good feeding position. Still they work the ball. In no hurry are Giants netball. Courtney Bruce is in a hurry. She's out of play. She wants them to take the penalty. Joe Hartman, what gamesmanship. Puts it down, uses up a bit more time, gives it a gift on the platter to Sophie Dwyer, who responds. Giants centre. Time is now against the visitors. Parmenter, Price. They'll be in no hurry. Moore needs to enter from the back. Dwyer to Price. Control from the Giants. Dangerous ball. Pittman all over it. Parmenter takes her time to set the penalty. Under a minute. Back they go to Lauren Moore. Contact from Frances Bayman.
Every contact is wasting time for Fever as well.
Harton swings it around. Back space is on. Touch from Ariane. Again, chewing up precious seconds, and the crowd knows it. That'll do it. I think that'll do it. Sophie Dwyer, is that the nail in the coffin? Feeder, centre pass. Pittman, top of circle. Foul it, turn, Bushy, shoot. Super shot. No, denied. They'll go again. Teague Neal. Has she got the courage? Has she got the radar? Again, denied. 10 seconds. Fitzgerald is on her feet. The crowd have gone crazy here at Ken Rosewell Arena. What a game. Oh, it's a beautiful shot from Teague Neal, but falling on deaf ears here in Sydney. What a game. And the Giants, 7th place coming into this match, have kept their hopes alive in 2022. They take the match against what were the competition leaders, West Coast Fever, 74-73.